Hey, what's up everybody? We are back again, and today we are once again going to be talking about the king of mumble rap himself, Lil Xan. Now, honestly, I'd be very surprised if there's anybody out there who hasn't heard of Lil Xan in one way or another. I do understand that I'm getting quite a bit older, and there are a lot of kids out there now who are listening to rap music who weren't around for the SoundCloud scene. I could understand forgetting people like Made in Tokyo, Kyle, you know, kind of those side rappers, but I feel like Lil Xan was so infamous, it's hard to not know who he is. Of course, he had a couple hit songs, and he even ended up putting out an album that became so infamous for its poor quality that people are still talking about it to this day, but mostly if you know Lil Xan, it's not going to be for his music, it's going to be for his antics. Because for one reason or another, right out of the gate, the entire internet seemed to hate Lil Xan. I'm not really sure if it was because the way he rapped, the way he looked, the face tattoos, or maybe to some he kind of encompassed all the bad aspects of the SoundCloud scene without any of the pros. Or maybe it was because he was way too entertaining to watch, being a 21-year-old kid who found his way into millions and millions of dollars and was basically crashing out almost every day of the week because, well, he was heavily addicted to drugs. And I think the reason that a lot of people really attached onto him so much is because every time that he crashed out, it felt totally authentic. Unlike Lil Pump and Boont Gang, who would pull antics to try to get more attention on Instagram with everything being set up and planned, Lil Xan was genuinely crashing out almost every single week. You always saw headlines of him either dissing Tupac, getting into fights, canceling shows out of nowhere, dating people and then breaking up with them, basically everything that you could ever want from a TMZ article, and Lil Xan was doing it without even thinking about it. For a while, he was definitely an unintentional master marketer, but after a couple years of him being in the limelight, he really started to fade away, calm down a little bit, and at this point, it seems like most people have forgotten about Lil Xan, and if they are still sticking around, it's actually for the music. Until recently, because Lil Xan actually ended up kicking somebody in the head at one of his shows, and then his bodyguard ended up picking him up and slamming him on stage. I'm going to show you the clip right here, but I'm going to have to heavily censor it because YouTube doesn't want to show fights on its platform, so sorry about that, but here you go.
Lil Xan violently assaults man at his show for simply flicking him off.
So yeah, pretty gnarly stuff. I mean, the guy was standing in the front row. He ended up flipping off Lil Xan. Lil Xan then proceeded to biff a microphone at his head before kicking him several times, almost knocking him down to the floor. And then security had to come by and stop Xan before he ended up assaulting some more people. So it definitely seems like Lil Xan was tweaking out. Was he drunk? Was he on drugs? Why did he decide to do that? Well, we actually have an explanation on his story. He goes on to say, "To people thinking I did what I did unprompted, y'all need to chill. Buddy kept reaching for my dick. I gave him multiple warnings to stop, but he did not and kept trying to touch me. Am I proud of how I acted and handled the situation? Hell no. I feel terrible about it. I'm a human just like you, and I will be doing heavy reflecting after this." So there you go, a pretty standard apology for a rapper who gets in trouble with a little bit more of an explanation. The dude was trying to grab his dick. I mean, you can't be out here trying to grab wieners like you're at an 83 Hades concert. You got to be more careful with that type of thing. If the dude's not feeling it, he's not feeling it. Unfortunately though, there's no footage proving that the guy was actually trying to touch Lil Xan like that, so we're gonna have to take his word for it. I also reached out to Lil Xan personally to see if I could get some more information on it, and he ended up saying this. He says, "It was a Harvard versus Yale pre-party that my homie paid me last minute to show up to. Like, nobody there even knew I was gonna do a song or that I was even in the building, lol. But now it's a Lil Xan show and I was assaulting an innocent fan. I can't win." So apparently it wasn't even a Lil Xan show in the first place. I mean, it wasn't his own fans showing up to listen to the music. Nobody knew that he was gonna be there, and when he did show up, people were getting a little bit too handsy. So that's his side of the story, but the other guy is of course trying to press charges. I mean, after all, you got hit by a rapper, you're gonna try to get a bag off of that no matter what, whether you think you're in the right or the wrong. I mean, I think anybody would do the same thing. And I'm a little bit conflicted on this because when people are talking about it, they're saying there's no reason that you should ever attack somebody in the crowd whatsoever. I mean, they're there to see you, they're paying you money to show up, and for you to attack them is completely out of pocket, which I do agree with. Like I said in my previous video, I don't think people ever need to get violent. I mean, after all, Lil Xan is like a 28-year-old man. He should be past the point of trying to beat people up when they make him mad, but I also want to bring up the point of how Lil Xan has been living his life for the last 5 years. Because I think he's put up with more harassment than basically any other rapper that I've ever seen. I mean, I know 6ix9ine got beat up at a gym, but I mean, 6ix9ine is 6ix9ine, and he was definitely asking for people to show up and beat him up. Lil Xan never went online and said, "Hey, come find me and beat me." But apparently he didn't realize that saying Tupac is boring is basically the same thing as saying come find me and beat me up, because people have been trying to attack him for the last 5 years over that one comment. We have a fan meetup that took place immediately after he said that comment, where he tried to apologize to everybody and say the media was painting him out to say something that he didn't really mean to say.
But for real, I gotta say something. The media twisted my words. I think Tupac is a legend. Tupac is definitely a legend. That's what's up. Tupac a legend, they just twist your words and they want you to hate me. Don't hate me. Positivity.
And apparently the crowd got so rowdy that he had to flee the scene. I'm not sure if that was because there was a bunch of kids there that were big fans of him and they wanted to get their hands on him, or maybe it was because of the Tupac comment, but either way, here's the video of that.
Brother Tupac?
No.
Nah, bro. I don't, nowhere near, bro.
No,
you good, bro, but you ain't nowhere near Tupac.
Bro, I respect Tupac.
Oh, yeah, bro.
I respect Tupac.
That's what's up, bro.
You already know. The media, hey, all I gotta say is the media twist what you say, bro.
All right, bro.
I fuck with
Tupac a legend, bro.
Tupac is a legend, bro. Yeah. So I don't know why he's so butthurt over that.
Thank you.
You're famous. They just mad.
Yep.
They just matter. Ignore the haters.
Hey, hold on.
Ignore the haters.
Hey, yeah.
No, Zan, don't bother him. Don't bother him.
Yo, I gotta address something that I've been seeing. TMZ posted it a lot. They're saying I am a pussy for the police escorting me away from a group of 20 people that wanted to jump me. You can call me a pussy all you want, but I am not a gang-banging rapper. Am I supposed to act hard? Am I supposed to not fuck with the police because I'm a rapper? Oh, wait, I have to, huh? Because that's what cool rappers do, right? I gotta be cool to say fuck the police. That's cool, right? Yeah, there's certain cops. Fuck the police. There's a lot of good cops. And you know what? I didn't feel like taking on 20 people when I didn't have no security. So I don't know if you're saying, oh, he a pussy, not hard. I'm not a gang rapper. I don't rap about gang shit. I don't rap about selling drugs and shooting guns. So miss me with that, oh, he a pussy.
After that, we got the infamous mall fight where Lil Xan ended up yelling at a random kid in a food court. I'm not really sure what caused this to happen, but I definitely think that Lil Xan was in the wrong here. I mean, he was getting way too angry. He was yelling the N-word at the dude. I mean, the kid was probably on something at the time, and that's why he was freaking out so bad, but either way, it definitely was a bad look and does go to show that at one point, Lil Xan had some pretty bad anger issues.
I'm gonna call police if you leave me alone.
You're not doing nothing.
I'm calling the police. On you. Leave me alone.
So on one hand, we got him getting chased off stage by fans. On the other hand, we got him being way too overly aggressive at a mall. So you kind of got 1 point for him being the aggressor and 1 point for him being the person who was attacked. After that, we got the infamous moment where Lil Xan actually ended up pulling out a gun on a fan. At least at the time, that's what the media was saying, that it was one of his own fans. But I mean, this guy was definitely not there to support him. He was definitely there to get a rise at his Xan. He was yelling at him, calling him a little bitch, talking about the Tupac comment once again. And Lil Xan actually ended up reacting to that by pulling out a gun.
You a bitch, homie.
Hey, yo, bro.
Hey, look at this little bitch, homie. Do something then, dog.
What the fuck you want, bro?
Hey, homie.
Get the fuck out. Get out.
Man, God, this motherfucker pulling a gun.
Fuck out, nigga.
Hey, y'all see this shit, right? Look at Lil Xan pulling a gun right now. Look at little
Get out.
Hey, look at this guy pulling the gun right now. Look at this motherfucker. Hey, pull that shit out again, homie. Hey, homie, you a bitch.
You a bitch.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Hey, look at my
Yeah.
car. Look at my car.
Yeah. Look at your car, you little bitch.
Now at the time, it seemed like people were a little bit mixed on this as well. Some people said it was a good thing that he was standing up for himself finally and trying to defend himself, and other people said that he was crashing out once again. I mean, I definitely think pulling out a gun at somebody at a gas station for simply yelling at you is a little bit of an overblown move, but you got to take into context that Lil Xan has basically been harassed for the past couple years of his life. He can't go outside without people yelling at him. I mean, it's definitely par for the course as a popping rapper that you're going to have a bunch of fans try to approach you almost everywhere you go. You don't have a lot of privacy, and people are always going to want want to take pictures or get your autograph. And that on its own, for somebody who's never had to deal with that before, probably is a little bit overwhelming, but at least that's positive energy. It's not people trying to beat you up because you said something about a rapper who passed away in the 90s. Not to mention at that time, there was a lot of violence being inflicted on rappers. I mean, we already know about XXXTentacion going out without security and getting shot. And even in modern day, we got people like Kill Cody who ended up getting killed at a party because somebody didn't like him apparently. It's a super fucked up world out there. People are going to want to get at you for one reason or another. There's a lot of people who are very envious of his success and they're going to want to hurt him, try to take his money, try to get a lick off of him, anything.
Bitch, Louisiana, bitch, dog. Hey, Louisiana, I want my smoke tomorrow at the October 10th at the pageant, little bitch. Where you at?
Besides that though, we have the Killy fight where he ended up going to a sushi restaurant in Toronto and Killy ended up trying to confront him and get into a fight with him there. I mean, Lil Xan kind of was at fault in that situation too because he was talking mad shit online.
Pretty universal thing that you somehow kind of branded.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like I can't say I created that, but I'm just saying I'm really
it's
branded
kind of your
it.
thing now, you know?
Yeah. Also, fuck, what's that rapper's name? Killy.
Fuck him. Why?
Fuck him.
Yeah, kill you a bitch.
Whoa, why?
Nah, calling me like a waste you. What is it? I don't even speak that language, bro.
What?
Yeah, bro. Just because, okay, we directed a video called No Love, and at the end, the ending sequence looks over the title because it looks just like his No Romance. So he had to go on to Insta and like project negative energy, calling me like a waste. A waste of space, basically.
I didn't know that.
Like, bro, you didn't create that title, bro. That's been around for movies forever.
In my opinion, it shouldn't have had to escalate to an in real life situation, but at the same time, if you're going to talk like that so disrespectfully, you can't be that surprised if you go somewhere and happen to run into them. Luckily, neither one of them ended up getting beat up, so I guess Lil Xan was kind of cleared on that one. But then finally, we have a situation where Lil Xan actually ended up getting his shoe taken off when he was on stage. As you can see right here, he was trying to perform. Somebody ended up grabbing his shoe and almost pulling him off stage. He definitely hit the stage pretty hard as well. So you can see that he probably has a little bit of PTSD or anxiety about performing. I mean, we've seen people throw stuff on stage. Somebody ended up throwing something pretty hard at Lil Mosey once. People throw bottles of piss at people at the Juggalo performances. I mean, pretty well everywhere you go where you're performing, it can be pretty dangerous. And I know people always talk about how rappers should have security when they're performing, and they definitely do, but you got to keep in mind that security can only do so much. If somebody's throwing a hard frozen ball of piss at your face and it's flying at the speed of light, the security guard's not going to jump 10 feet in the air and smack it out of the way before it hits you. It's probably going to hit you. And honestly, all I can say is that I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people. People want to go out and see performances. They want to see their favorite rapper, and then when they finally get the chance to see them, they end up throwing shit at them or yelling at them or trying to beat them up or beat up other people. I mean, like, what happened to going to a concert, listening to the music, maybe having a couple drinks, having a couple joints, and, you know, just enjoying it instead of trying to hop up and beat the shit out of everybody? I mean, I guess that comes from the mosh pits. I mean, I guess I understand why some people could like it. Definitely not my thing, but if you're going to a Lil Xan show and trying to mosh, then you're definitely at the wrong place. And with that said, I have one final clip to show a Lil Xan actually slipping on a puddle when he was trying to perform. So even water is trying to attack this guy. Can you blame him for being so paranoid? But hey man, we got good guy Polo G coming here and wiping it up. So that was definitely another embarrassing moment for Lil Xan.
Bro, what the fuck is that?
And basically everything this guy does ends up getting posted online and spun in a negative direction. I mean, it's definitely got to get pretty overwhelming to be so popular that people are always talking about you. I mean, it's good to get publicity, that definitely helps you out in your career, but as a person, you can't take nonstop hate all the time. And don't get me wrong, almost every single celebrity gets some form of hate, but I mean, for somebody like Lil Xan or 6ix9ine, it's probably 30% fans and 70% people who don't like them, so that's got to be a lot to handle all at once. And that's why you always see people back away from the internet after a while. I know a lot of people said the 1985 effect really took place on a lot of these rappers because they couldn't keep up with their antics and bring people back time and time again, and I don't think that's true. They probably could have brought people back time and time again, but I mean, after a while it definitely has to wear down on your sanity that basically every single day people are talking about you nonstop and it's mostly negative. It basically becomes your job to try to top yourself over and over and over again. People are always interested in what you got going on, but for negative reasons. You don't know who really has your best interest in mind and who's trying to take advantage of you, and that's why fame is not for everybody, especially rap it fame. I mean, after all, it probably seems like the ideal situation to put out one song, get super popular, get a Lyrical Lemonade video, start making millions of dollars, but that's a lot to handle all at once, and that's why I feel like it's a lot better to build up your fan base piece by piece by piece, basically getting more and more people, becoming more popular, and then you can kind of adjust to each level of it before you become very popular. And some people still end up crashing and burning even when they make it to the top, but you can't really blame somebody like Lil Xan for being a 21-year-old drug addict who got way too much money and started going crazy. I mean, we all did stupid shit when we were younger, it just didn't happen to be on the internet. But that's only my opinion, so definitely let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Do you think Lil Xan is justified? Do you think he took it too far? Do you think he's a crash out, an asshole? Or do you actually kind of like him? Well, let me know. Also, I just want to mention really quickly right here that Lil Xan actually also got dissed by Che on his recent album, saying that he fell off like Lil Xan, so apparently that was a story that was kind of going around as well. I don't know where else I was going to be able to talk about that, so I talked about it right here. And the funny thing is that Lil Xan actually ended up commenting on the post saying that he thought that it was fire, and then a lot of people are like, well, he dissed you on the album, but basically all he said was that Lil Xan fell off. In my opinion, somebody dropping a bar about Lil Xan falling off isn't that dissimilar to somebody dropping a bar about 6ix9ine snitching or TK doing the race. It's a pretty common bar. I wouldn't really be tripping too much over it. At least people are still talking about you, and after all, Lil Baby also dissed Lil Xan on one of his own songs, so at that point, I mean, it's not really going to get a whole lot worse than that. But anyways, that's all I got to say over this new Lil Xan situation. Leave some knife emojis in the comments below. Shout out to Knife Gang. Subscribe to the channel if you want. I'm not your dad, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.